Previously on Anything Goes.
It's like old people know real anger, they know fake anger.
I have the same thing.
Okay, and they, for whatever reason, old people fucking love what I do, and they're always the ones that come up to me and go, "Keep with it. We love it. We really enjoyed
It's
it."
the people in the middle of age that are still defining.
Or the 19-year-olds who are
right.
like, "How can you say this in front of someone my grandmother's age?" It's like, are you giving me give me a break?
They know that people forget that's actually comedy at its best is when
Absolutely.
these people that have seen everything can now get an opportunity to laugh at the things they don't necessarily talk about. Like I used to do a bit when I'd see a lot of old people, like whenever I to address that specifically, it's like, how am I going to offend you? You remember when condoms were lace up, that's true.
Yeah.
And then when you break that ice with them, they're sort of like it actually works because they're like, oh, I shouldn't laugh at that, but that's true.
Yeah. I mean, I used to, like, I'd say, because there'd be 19-year-olds upset, and I'm like, look, you don't know what real anger is. You're trying to finger bang your girlfriend in your parents' minivan.
Yeah.
These people, they're RSPs, which
they invented finger banging.
Yeah, they invented it. Their 401 plans aren't going anywhere. They're eating food they don't want to eat. Their kids don't call them anymore.
Right.
They
They've
know
been
real
married
anger.
twice. They've had affairs. They've been to wars. They, like your joke is going to offend somebody that lived through Hitler.
Well, exactly. And the reference was, my grandmother sucked dick in World War II, so she didn't get scurvy. She knows what real fucking anger is.
Exactly.
That's the bottom line.
That's right.
And now, let's get to a new exciting show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for some laughs? Are you?
Guess which host bought a Shania Twain album just so they could do blow off her tits? This is Anything Goes with Darren Frost,
How the fuck am I funny?
Dave Martin,
What have we got here? A fucking comedian.
and Kathleen McGee.
And I'll execute every motherfucking last one of you!
Can you dig it?
All right, everybody, we are back. We are back live. This is Anything Goes 3.0. Of course, Kathleen McGee is in Edmonton, Alberta, through the power of the internet. Woo! And Dave Martin is with his cats in Toronto.
Yeah, you're getting some inappropriate butthole cleaning from behind.
Is it ever inappropriate with cats?
Is it ever inappropriate?
Yeah.
Sure. Did you see that news footage of the one that was like a broadcaster that from home? He had to a lot of broadcasters have to do their show from home now, and there was a fireplace mantelpiece right behind him, and then one of his cats got up on the mantelpiece and did a full leg up in the air, cleaning the.
He's just showing off. I mean, if I was a cat, I would do that too.
Sure, why not? I mean, it's probably the highlight of his broadcasting career, having a cat clean his balloon knot on live TV.
Totally. I always thought it looked like the end of a hot dog.
But that's more prolapse though. That would be almost that. That's the sort of.
I think the balloon knot would be more prolapse. That's like more out, sticking out.
Yes.
You learn your definitions of prolapse, David Martin.
There's some things that I don't want to Google. I do not want to Google those things because, then it starts suggesting, other things that you can start Googling if you want to.
I think if with that green screen in the background, you should do your next DVD call at the Prolapse Dave Martin.
Just come out of a hole like really weird. Give birth to yeah.
Hot dogs for everyone. Hot dogs for everyone.
I did it.
There's this meme that's going. I don't know. Maybe it's like khaki, but I laughed. It was like that. There's these two twin sisters both drank from the same cup used by someone with COVID-19. Same DNA, but one got COVID and the other didn't. Still think the government isn't involved? Google 2 girls, 1 cup. I loved it. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I think there's some really good COVID humor out there. I just don't want to see it on the stage.
I know. I kind of wonder if that's going to be like a thing, like the first time that you get up on stage. I think everyone's going to be so overexposed to COVID humor. They're going to be like, yes, we get it. It's almost something that you don't want to forget about, but...
Or for once, every comic is going to want the bullet so they can get up there first and do the joke first. Because everybody's going to have the same kind of jokes. Everyone in the world just went through the same kind of thing. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if there's a lot of original stuff, but I think it's going to be a lot of the same stuff.
I think some of the audiences are going to be forgiving, but I mean, I'm not an audience member. I'm not the average person. I'm going to roll my eyes a lot. I'm not going to do much material on it, only because everybody's going to be doing it. That's the downfall to me. There'll be a few that'll be doing great stuff, but there'll be so few and in between.
Yeah.
I just think like while everybody's in quarantine and all these Zoom shows are going on, it's going to be like this. I think it's some parts of it are just going to be beaten to death, and there's just to have an original outlook on it. I mean, you know, to each their own. It's gonna take a while. Have you done any like Zoom stand-up shows? Like, have you tried to do stand-up?
No way. No.
I did one for a friend because it was just for within her group, and It was very uncomfortable and very awkward, and I felt so unfunny, and I was like, and then I got all like, well, stand-up's over.
Right.
I still believe stand-up is over the way that we did it. I think it's going to be a big change. I think that, you know, you're going to either find the people that are going to change with it are going to keep going, or we're going to find a lot of comics just dropping off just because it's kind of just like, it's not going to be the same as doing it live. You're going to get the comics that have a better skill set of doing this that are going to get ahead. Because if you don't get that out of your head, you're going to bomb. It's really hard. Especially because you're like looking at your own face, it's very awkward, I feel.
Yeah, no, I mean, someone offered me to do it and even for money, and I said I'm just not into it. I'm not judging comics that can do it. That's great. It's like juggling. I'm not going to judge a juggler, but I'm not going to start juggling. If they want to do it, fine.
How much money were you offered?
Yeah, how much were you?
Not a lot. I think it was like $50 or $100.
Okay,
but
well,
it was more of like I could try it, make a little bit of money, and see if I like it. Or realize this isn't for me. That's just not my thing.
Well, okay. I mean, I haven't done a Zoom show, but also at the same time, I have not been asked to do a Zoom show.
Right.
So it's pretty well. It's sort of one of those deals.
This could all change, Dave. You might get tons of Zoom audition offers right now.
Oh, well, okay. All right. Okay. Yes.
And you could change the backdrop. Like if you want to be like, I'm live from Paris.
I got a green screen already.
Green screen.
You could do 10 different kinds of cops. 10 different kinds of cops.
Yeah.
The only thing about the comics that are doing Zoom shows is like, sometimes I just look at them, I'm like, you can't even just like relax for a month or two and just kind of sit down and collect yourself. You really want to be out there, like standing in your dining room, talking like this to a bunch of people in a meeting that are barely paying attention. I mean, like, give yourself a break. This is actually the nicest break. Everyone's forced to stop or slow down. And it's really been like, I think the world was just like, it was either this or a world war was going to start. Something had to come along to get us to get our shit together again. Just relax and figure out what's actually important in the world. I've been having a great time. I'm thriving in this pandemic.
I know. I'm one of those people that thought that they actually had the COVID virus before the pandemic started, and I wasn't working very much, so I was just at home sick, and but I mean, I did go out a bunch of times, but I just thought I was having like a flu thing or something like that. But
what I'm shocked by, I'm always shocked by, it's like we've all been taught from a very young age to make sure you have 2 or 3 months of money in the bank in case something happens. And I know that's not easy. I get it. But I'm surprised by some of the more, not famous, but comics that do a lot of work and are working regularly were the first ones to jump out and be like, I'm going to do an online thing. It's like, like take some time, take a month or two off, collect the CERB money, figure out some shit. But it's, you don't know what someone will do until they're pushed back into a corner, I guess.
Yeah. It has been very interesting to see how everybody reacts. I love your cat in the background. That's the best. It has been really interesting, just like not even just comics, but industry people, comedy club owners, comedy club, how they're doing stuff. Like the comic strip apparently is opening this Thursday.
Yes, and I saw a posting about a drive-in show as well, sponsored by the comic strip today.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah,
I have a spot there on the 19th. It's a Monday, and I'm hosting, but I just like, are we gonna I've heard you have to wear masks and gloves, and I'm like, this is
that's gonna be hilarious.
is going to be hilarious. Yeah,
Yeah.
to not see any facial expressions anymore.
Sure.
Like all the comics that can talk with their eyes, they're going to kill.
So I don't know if I ever told you. Go ahead,
Is
dude.
everybody going to start bringing their own microphone? Because that's like.
I've heard that. I have
Yep.
heard that. Like
I've
a
heard
pool
that.
game, like with your own pool cue.
Yeah.
You come in, mine's going to be sparkly.
Oh.
So I don't know if I ever told you guys this story, but like 15, 20 years ago, well, I guess it was 99, when I moved to LA, me and Johnny Gardos, we bought these Mexican wrestling masks. And on my tour back through the West, I would go on stage and I would wear the mask. And then I would tell the people, to the audience, I'd say, listen, the reason I'm forced to wear this mask on stage is because people laugh at my appearance and not my jokes. And the comedy clubs don't think it's right. They want my jokes to get the laughs, not just my looks. So if you'd agree to not laugh at me, I will take the mask off. And crowds would always like, yes, yes. So they feel so bad. And I'd take it off. And there'd be always one motherfucker go, ha, ha, like, you know, some kind of Simpsons thing. And it would force me to put it back on. And I would do the rest of my act in the mask and stay committed to it. And it was fucking horrible. But people still bought it. Like afterwards, they're like, you're a good looking guy. You don't need to wear that mask. Like they didn't get it. I'm fucking with you. But, you know, people in Calgary are like, oh, no, you're a 10 here. You know, well, I probably am.
You're a 10 in Calgary.
In Calgary.
I think one of the best examples of a comic committing to it. Well, you all know Andrew Iwanek.
Of course.
He's like, I don't know where he is anymore. He tells me he's doing corporates all over the world. But anyway, one of my favorite things that he ever did was he went on stage and he said, I got to explain what kind of a comic I am before I get into my act. He's like, I'm the world's preeminent boo comic. Instead of laughter, I thrive off of booze. So if you're enjoying the show, I want you to boo me. So he starts to say, he does his first joke, very funny, and the crowd starts to boo him, and he goes, oh, you think you can do fucking better than this? You think you're better?
Right.
It was so funny. It was so good.
I remember Jack Norman used to do a sort of thing like that too, where he would scream at the audience to heckle him. It was like, heckle me, heckle me, heckle me, you fuckers! And then people would start heckling, and then he would stop all of a sudden and go, now please, sir, this is a performance. I'm an artist up here. Every time that you interrupt the show, it makes it awkward and uncomfortable for everyone, okay? Thank you. Please, I'd like to continue. Fucking heckle me, you son of a bitch! And then people would still do it, stop. Excuse me, sir, once again, I have to tell you.
Right. Yeah, Jack would commit to the bit for sure.
The one thing I always thought was kind of interesting was that you could always tell, since this whole thing has started, and we're almost at like 2 months now, you could tell where people's priorities were when for who they were worried about the most.
Right.
Like I had one person, I knew someone who was like, man, what's going to happen to all the swingers clubs?
I had a show booked in a swingers club like the weekend after this all got, and they were like, no, we're still doing it. And like the day before, they're like, no, the government said we can't be together.
Yeah. No,
well, it's hard to fuck 6 feet away.
Yeah, it's not going to take my right to anonymously suck and fuck total strangers at a swingers club.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you need those like remote control panties now. You can't.
Right.
Someone's got to go there. It's a video game.
I thought if you had like
a lot. I bet you that's going to start happening. Like, you know, like strip clubs, like the no touch rule. Well, you got to be 6 feet away, but maybe they're going to start being like, oh, you can get this girl off from over in the corner, or maybe they're going to make one that is a hand so that girls can do it to guys. Equality.
Yeah, I think if your levels of concern were healthcare workers, essential service workers, and then strippers and prostitutes.
Yes.
I think that showed you where your priorities. Well, what about all the prostitutes? It's like, well, okay. Well, we don't need to worry too much. I'm sure they'll survive.
The world's oldest profession will survive a pandemic.
Oh my God, there's going to be a prostitute boom.
Are people still hooking up on, like, there's still people that are, I've heard of people that are still on Tinder that are like meeting up with people. They're just being quiet about it. But
well, as long as you don't kiss, it can't transfer.
Well, no, that's not true. I read today.
Yeah, I know.
When you say, I was like, it could be in cum? What?
Yep.
Oh, man. What's
You
that?
know that that is not
Inside
something that a
joke.
man has been spreading. That was not a rumor that a man started. If a man, like, they started the rumor that it helps you lose weight, but they didn't
Yes.
start the rumor that you can get COVID by swallowing.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
I
they-
saw, Dan Savage was on Bill Maher on Friday, and he was talking about the if there could be a rebirth of the glory hole, and but then it came out that you could spread COVID through semen. And,
Right. And that actually is the reason why I don't go on the bus anymore. I'm not allowed.
because that's where you come, or is
Yeah, that's
that,
where I spread it. That's where I would just run up and down the, who's got a transfer? Here's some for you.
Jizzing on the
Yeah.
Is the bus free in Toronto right now?
I don't think it is.
I think it is actually. Well, I mean, I haven't. I know there's no TTC fare collectors. I took a streetcar about a week ago, and
Yeah, it's free in Edmonton because they want you to enter on the back, and they're not charging you.
yeah,
Oh, they always want to enter in the back in Edmonton. Come on, let's.
Yeah, they do. It's an Edmonton thing. Actually, ass eating was invented in Edmonton.
Well, I'm not going to argue.
does it say that on the sign on the way into town?
Yes, we got rid of City of Champions, and now it says Edmonton, City of Ass Eaters.
Wow.
Oh man,
Well, you're
It's a
good.
classy
Good.
place.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking.
We have actually a very, very flat line in Edmonton. Like Calgary has quite a few cases still. We don't have very many cases, and I think we've had a few days without a case. So that's why I think everything's going to start supposedly opening up on the 14th. Like my boyfriend works at a restaurant, and all the restaurants are supposedly allowed to open on May 14th. But
Right.
a lot of the places are saying we think it's too soon. So I don't know. How are we supposed to know?
And how long have you been in Edmonton now? Because you were in Vancouver, right, for years. And then how long have you been back in Edmonton now?
2 years now.
2 years.
Literally 2. I think I moved here 2 years ago, May. So at this time.
Right.
So Kathleen, have you been finding being in quarantine? Does your boyfriend go out every day to work?
Yeah, he goes out to work. He's been working a lot, and I don't know, we have spray, we wash. I go out to the grocery store, I go to the dog park. I don't feel I think in Edmonton it's not quite as serious as places like Toronto or bigger cities with bigger population. There's more space here, and it's easier to social distance. I went to Costco the other day, there wasn't even a line out. I was like, what's happening here? But it doesn't feel as serious here. But I still think people are taking it seriously, which is why it's not as serious here, probably.
Yeah.
So I've been living in Barrie for the last 2 years. So I don't even live in Toronto anymore. And up here, it's obviously there's not as many cars out, but same thing. Costco's not very full, no lines. I'm still going out, semi-regularly, but I've got 3 boys to homeschool, and my wife works at the hospital, so she's out every day. I'm not like Dave, just Dave and some cats.
And a green screen.
Yeah.
Green screen.
How is homeschooling your children? I have a lot of friends that have kids, and almost every one of them is like, I really need to hug my kid's teacher the next time I can, because
Yeah, I mean, homeschooling leads to killing of children. Let's just put it that way.
I also had a friend that said it's kind of like you start to realize that school is school is feeling they could go for an hour a day and learn what they need to learn.
Yes, yes.
It's basically daycare, so that they go to work.
But they learn to socialize. They learn patterns and behave, a set kind of schedule. There's all these other things that are built in to what school is. But yeah, I would probably say 2 hours of actual education a day would be fair, an amount. I mean, that's what I'm aiming for my kids here. It's 2 hours, and then they kind of get to do what they want. Anything more than that, you're just pushing it too much.
Do you know anyone that has actually been homeschooled? I don't know anyone that has actually been home. I mean,
my half brothers were homeschooled.
They were.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where? Where were they? Were they living out in the country? No, but were they in a city homeschooled? Oh, in Edmonton. Okay.
Yeah, I just my stepmom wanted to homeschool them. I don't know if I fully agree with homeschooling, because I feel like you really do need to experience socialization.
Right.
You hear that argument. Well, my kid was having a horrible time in school. I'm like, that's part of school.
Yeah.
You're supposed you're supposed to go through the angst of school to learn how to deal. Because I mean, if you're not like bullied or teased at school, and you're bullied and teased in the workforce, you're not going to be able to deal with it in the right way. Like my whole school life, from kindergarten to at least grade 9, almost every day I went home crying because I was teased for being fat. But it gave me a sense of humor, because eventually I was like, okay, they're going to make fun of me, so I'm going to make fun of me too. And then you get people to laugh, and then people are like, oh, she's fun. She's fat, but she's fun.
I know that carries on for most guys for the rest of their lives. Of just like,
sure. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I was never bullied. I don't have problems. I was a social butterfly. Oh,
you were the quarterback. You were the quarterback. You dated the cheerleader.
And you still became a comedian.
Yeah, I just was like, what is everybody bitching about? This comedy thing's easy. And then I mastered that. I mastered football, comedy, chicks. I've got it all.
Well, I guess if you were bullied and homeschooled, that would have been one thing. Of just, it's like for your recess, and then Dad puts on like a baseball cap and then smacks you in the side of the head while you're outside playing.
And then it gets weird. It gets weird when you want to marry the teacher. Remember those years?
You had a crush on the teacher.
Yeah, had a crush on the teacher at homeschool. That's shitty.
And the prom, and you had to dance with your mom.
Yeah.
One of my high school teachers used to like bartend at this like club in Edmonton called Club Malibu. And I remember when we turned 18, we went, and there's pictures of him on the wall. He was a stripper.
Oh, yeah?
It was like Varsity Blues, but he wasn't stripping when we were there. But I was like, oh, my God, that's my teacher in that picture, shaking it in front of women.
But I mean, even when I was in high school, there was tons of girls that supposedly slept with this one teacher, right? And then you leave that school, and years later you find out they're still together, so they obviously did fuck.
What do you mean, tons of girls? He's with all these girls?
Yeah, like over the years, he was dating like that kind of age girls, and then eventually just settled down with one. I mean, there was always the rumors, and you're like, no, he's not like that. He's just, he likes to be with the girls, and he's nice. And it's like,
he was never called out for it? Like, that never...
That was the 80s, man. I remember in the 80s, I had friends that were 13 dating 22-year-old guys. It was like Dazed and Confused.
Oh, my God.
Man, Dazed and Confused. 22-year-olds banging 13-year-olds. Happens all the time.
Well...
But pedophilia was cool.
Well, yeah. As long as it had a good backbeat and a good song to it,
I remember my best friend's uncle had a Porsche, and we all thought it was really cool, but I didn't ever want to sleep with him.
Right. Well,
I was curious though. I mean, there's a lot of times that people were were trapped or quarantined on a cruise ship, and there's like reports of there's still people on cruise ships. Yeah.
Yes, still, yeah. There's like 70. There's like 70,000 crew members still stuck on ships right now.
Now, if you were one of the comedians on that cruise ship, do you think you're still required to perform?
Yes.
Because that would be like hilarious. It wouldn't actually be hilarious.
It's based on a head count, just like a comedy club. If they can get 12 people to just slightly open their door in the hallway, you've got to do your show.
They will do it. They will do it. Are any of the comedy clubs officially closing? Anybody heard of any of them?
No.
I think the Comedy Factory in Edmonton is done.
I'd heard a rumor about that, but nothing official.
Well, it doesn't say anything on their website, but their website's been the same since 1991.
Yes, and it was made with a VIC-20 computer. I know the website.
Oh, it's one of the greatest comedy websites out there that's not a comedy website. It's just, they even have like a section for comedians and comedians.
Oh, okay.
He splits them up. And there's 2 comedians.
Wow. Well, for those who really want to make that choice.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't want to see a woman try.
Right. That way you can just pick your 8 men and 1 woman, right? So that way we keep it right.
Exactly.
Are any of you getting constant email updates from some of your favorite retail stores or restaurants about what they're doing for COVID?
I didn't know how close I was to Harvey's until this whole pandemic.
Oh, I really want to thank the Pickle Barrel every day.
Every day.
For telling me
they're fucking worried about us.
And especially Mark's Work Warehouse telling me not to hold back on buying something for Mother's Day at Mark's Work Warehouse. I was just like, okay.
I hate Christmas commercials, but now I hate COVID commercials even more. Like, I want to punch the A&W guy in the face.
Oh, for him like calling everybody and thanking them.
The burgers. Like, this is not. We don't care that you guys care about us. Like, if you care about us, give us free shit. I don't know, but like, don't make commercials.
The A&W guy that series of commercials is sort of like where he's just walking around with like a plate of burgers, handing them out to people. That really, honestly, is one of the creepiest commercials I've ever seen. Especially, there's one where he's running after a jogger and asking them like, try this burger. And I'm just like, if those were hidden camera ones, I mean, how many people would just smack the burgers right out of his face and just being like, get the fuck away from me, you fucking weirdo with the burgers.
That's how COVID was spread in Canada.
Through
he
burgers.
was passing out COVID-infected A&W burgers.
For the new rat burger or for the live mice burger?
100% rat meat. No hormones.
It makes me want to buy just a whole bunch of KFC, take all the skin off, put it on my face, and then go to his house.
And just walk up there and go, thank me.
Yeah. Look at my face.
I'm getting a lot of emails from Staples too.
Yeah.
If you're any of your computer or office needs, Staples is really is keeping up with me. But the Pickle Barrel ones were the ones where I'm sort of like, how about I just not go to the Pickle Barrel for a couple?
Can you get delivery from the Pickle Barrel?
Like, how did I get those in the first place?
No, can you get like you get like a edition?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You could. I guess you could get catering to your house with Pickle Barrel, but
what's really weird is all this stuff because we're all spending so much more time online. At least I am. All these things that you're getting ads for, like normally it's an ad. I'll go on a search and I'll find like I'm looking for a cruise, and all of a sudden I'll get all kinds of ads for cruises. Fine. But some of them are just weird. Like I had this thing today for a vaginal yeast machine called the Yoni or something, and it's like it kept popping up. I'm like, I don't need this.
Is it a machine that makes vaginal yeast, or?
Well, a lot of people are into sourdough right now. I don't know. Maybe. But it's just, I'm like, what is this? And it's like, I don't want to click on it because if I click on it, then it's just going to keep popping up.
A yoni is the definition of yoni is a vagina.
Yeah, I know that. That's why it says it's to keep your yoni like clean. It's like this kind of Asian website. If you go to my Facebook, there's the picture of it. And it's this girl sitting on it. It looks like she's sitting on like an upside down bucket. And it's supposed to like heat up your vagina or something.
Well, I got to tell you, Gwyneth Paltrow has this series on Netflix for Goop. And as much as everybody hates Gwyneth Paltrow, some of the episodes were great. And I heard somebody call Joe Rogan Gwyneth Paltrow for men, which was, I used to call it Oprah, but I guess Gwyneth Paltrow.
That's funny. Yeah.
But, so one of the episodes was all about like women getting to know their vaginas, and they went to like a masturbation coach. Mm-hmm. And I may get graphic, but I tried those techniques, and that lady, that 68-year-old woman, knows what she is talking about.
Damn straight, 68, she knows.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can even see this.
I can't even see that.
No.
Yeah.
It looks like a hair curler.
What
is that?
That's the blue thing is the actual thing that you sit on.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But do you guys know that most women have never seen their vaginas? You guys see your dick all the time. But most women have never like been like, oh, look at it, until sexting came along, and then every guy's like, show me a picture.
So we were going to get into this anyways, but all these shows that we're now watching because we have all this time, there's like a reality show on Netflix where a bunch of people have to go to an island and not fuck for 30 days. And one of the things they do is they take all the women, and this yoni expert, that's why she comes, and they make them stand over a mirror so they can actually see their vagina for the first time. Yeah,
like in Fried Green Tomatoes. Don't you remember that?
I don't. And I'm glad I don't. I'm glad I don't remember.
I missed that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You don't forget? You don't remember that?
No.
When Kathy Bates looks at her vagina?
No.
You guys.
I remember
that's two things in a sentence that should never happen.
You can't call yourself feminist if you don't know that scene.
Okay, I'm not a feminist then.
I remember the photograph from the Madonna sex book, where she's straddling a mirror and she's taking a good look at her cooch like that. But I always think that masturbation be just something that you trial and error, you figure it out on your own. Or
sure. Yeah.
But this isn't just about masturbation. This is about like if you think about it, most women don't even know what they look like down there. That's
Right.
weird. The guys all know exactly what their dicks look like. You
Right.
probably even know
Yeah,
what
but you know what? I still close my eyes when I do it, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Trust me. You don't need to know. I don't look at mine. I hate it so much. I just close my eyes and hope for the best.
Yeah.
You shouldn't hate your dick, Darren. You should love
Yes. Yeah, well, maybe that's my problem, and that'll be a different Zoom meeting.
I take it for walks. I go to the movies with it. I treat it nice. I treat it bad.
Your
Yeah.
dick gave you a family.
It did. It gave me a family. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. My kids will watch it.
Mine's just giving me heartache and a reason to worry about things.
That's because you don't use your dick properly, Dave. I'm getting it.
Okay, well,
No, that was
one walkout already. Okay.
perfect walkout.
Oh shit! I had to get a White Claw. I had to get a White Claw. I'm trying to be sponsored by them.
Oh,
Oh
I see.
yeah, I tried
White
that.
Claw.
I tried that for the first time. It goes down too easily.
I could probably I can't chug beer, but I could probably chug a White Claw. But I'm not gonna do that on camera because it'll end bad.
Well, now when have you tried to binge watch anything with all this time off?
I watched
Oh, yeah.
Breaking Bad. I binge
Oh,
watched
finally?
Breaking
Okay.
Bad. It was really great. Such a good show.
Is this for the first time?
No, I watched it before, but I watched it with my phone with me all the time, so I barely watched it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And now that I'm on ADHD medication, I got diagnosed with ADHD, so I can actually focus.
Right.
Now,
It's
how do you?
crazy.
I want to get diagnosed with that, or I think I have that. I think I have that already, but I want to get sort of like I want to take the next step and get medication.
Mhm.
Like,
You
what do I
have
have to say to my doctor to be like, okay, this is what you need?
You go and like it's literally like 100-question questionnaire, and you fill it out, and
You just put yes to everything, Dave.
Or I should just immediately hand it back in and just go, I'm done.
But it was crazy. Like I answered all the questions as truthfully as possible, and then the guy like looked over them, and then he goes, "Well, do you think you have it?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure I have it." And he goes, "Oh yeah, you have it. You have a very like you're 9 out of 10 of the requirements of ADHD." And he says a lot of comedians probably have ADHD. A lot of people. Like my boyfriend just got diagnosed with ADHD. A lot of people that work in kitchens have ADHD because
Right.
it's a profession they go into where they don't have to pay attention. Like they
Yeah,
can.
well, if you answer 100 questions in a row, do you really have attention deficit disorder?
If you want the meth, you do. Because my drugs have a little bit of meth in them.
Wow.
But it really has changed my life. Honestly, like I got diagnosed in November, and like when he diagnosed me, I said, "So you're telling me I could have been successful? Like I could have been a lawyer or a doctor?" And he's like, "Basically, yes." He's like, "Yeah." And a lot of the reason why I was probably overweight as a child, some of it had to do with ADHD
Right.
and coping mechanisms and all this stuff. And
Sure.
he said, "You've developed some brilliant coping mechanisms to get through life." But yeah, so I started taking this medication, and it's not like antidepressants. You don't have to take it for a month before you start feeling it. It's immediate. And if I don't take it one day, I'll feel it too. It's
Right.
changed my life. I would definitely go and talk to someone about it if you even think you do, because it was a friend of mine that got diagnosed, and then she said you should check, because like that's what I said to my boyfriend when I got diagnosed, because I saw everything in me in him.
Right.
So it's just kind of like, I don't know. And a lot of people joke, well, it's not even my aunt was like, it's not a real thing. And I'm like, okay, but it is a real thing. And everybody thinks they have it,
Mhm.
but some people actually do.
I think I might just get really focused on procrastinating. I would get really skilled at doing nothing at all. So at what point do you think that can we all start, like, I know that people who are delivering their pizzas, they're heroes now. And
Yes.
someone who's scanning your groceries, they're a hero now.
Yep.
I want to get back to being able to yell and scream at people at the grocery store. And
2 months, Dave. You got to wait at least 2 months.
so can we all call ourselves, are we all survivors now?
I guess.
Yes.
I
Yes.
guess we're survivors.
So I can just, if someone's yelling at me, I can just be like, I'm a survivor. Can I do that now without legally?
And then they're just going to throw your fries in a bag and throw the bag at you, Dave.
You're a survivor, but you're not a hero.
That's true. There's a difference.
Yeah.
There is a difference. One puts it in a bag. They're the hero. You eat them. You're the survivor.
A lot of people are saying that there's gonna, because a lot of my friends are like, are you gonna have a baby? And I'm like, no. But a lot of people are like, oh, people are gonna have babies for this. But I completely disagree.
I disagree too, because the divorce rates are going to go up. It's already been everywhere because you're confined to smaller spaces and you're around them way more. And it's just not, if you don't have a good relationship, this is just only going to be a trigger for it.
Yeah, babies spike in blackouts because it's like usually 5 days or less. And you're like, oh, well, yeah, we can just have sex this whole time. But now you're in this like 2-month thing. So maybe babies are going to come, but they're all going to be children of divorce.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could see a lot of people being, because I could sort of see in like a normal relationship, you would just, if both of you were doing like 9 to 5 jobs, there's a huge amount of time where you just don't see each other at all. And then now if you're confined and neither one of you can go to work and you're confined in that space, I mean, I could see how a lot of people would be like, holy shit, I forgot how much all those little things that you do piss me off so much.
And that's like anybody though, like most people like can't, no matter how much you love your significant other, if they're around you all the time, you will go nuts. Somebody will start getting somebody's nerves, and then fights will start. And I mean, I think it's great that my boyfriend's working because then we miss each other.
Right.
But he doesn't want to be working, and I don't blame him. I feel bad, but
does he not want to work?
Well, he's tired of it. It's like he has to go to work every day, and I sit at home and try to decide what I'm going to stream or. Yeah. I mean, I've been doing some housework. I've been doing stuff around the house, but it's just like I don't work as hard as him right now, and I feel bad about it. I feel guilty, and he's been working his ass off.
And there's the risk of him getting it because he's out there and we're not. Yeah. Like my wife works in a hospital, same thing. She's working full-time hours, if not longer, on the supposed front line, whatever. And I'm sitting in here, doing math questions with an 8-year-old, 5 apples,
It is still like we are still comedians, so this is not a big change from our lifestyle.
100%.
That's what I said. All the comics are doing fine because we're used to being isolated and figuring out what to do during the day. We just miss going out at night and getting on stage for a half an hour. But it is like I feel guilty when people are like, "Oh, I'm working. I'm so tired," and then I'm like, "Oh, what am I doing? Nothing." I feel
2 o'clock, time for a nap.
Yeah, so mean and so rude.
But is there anything that we think is not going to come back after this? Like we talked about, comedy clubs might be different, but is there anything else? I'm hoping conga lines are done.
Conga lines and the lambada.
Yes.
The forbidden dance.
Yes.
I think bobbing for apples is done.
Yes. Unless they change the water and the apples each time.
Oh yeah, that'll be good. I've heard that actually airlines, I think it's going to get bad with airlines. I think because I've heard that airlines are going to have to make more space on planes.
Yes.
So they're going to have to take off like half of the seats, but it's not a good thing. It sounds like a good thing, but that just means it's going to be way more expensive to fly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
when you posted something last week, you posted something, and Mark Breslin, who's going to be our guest next week, talked about this. About, the idea of comedy clubs coming back, and I'm sure we'll get into it with him. But the one point he made is, like, clubs aren't going to be able to afford flights anymore like they used to, at least in the beginning. And especially not now that the flights are going to be double, triple what they normally are. I mean, we already pay an extreme amount to get across Canada compared to anywhere else in the world. Like, the idea of flying from here to Vancouver, it's like $600 or $800. You can fly almost all the way around the world for that if you go from another country.
Yeah.
That's only going to get higher now, which is a huge deterrent from being able to tour, not just for us, but musicians and other people that just travel for a living.
And I think for performers, because even Mark said, you're going to see the crowds are distant. Do you remember performing in a club where people are spread out all over the club?
Terrible.
How awkward and horrible it is. Yeah. This is my point. Like how stand-up as we know it is not coming back. Maybe in 10, 20 years, but it's going to be very different. And everybody that's saying, oh, it's going to be fine. You need to have a little bit of a reality check about what's actually going to happen. Like, it's going to be weird. There's going to be 2 people here and 2 people there, and there's going to be only 20 people allowed in the club. So it's going to feel like a Monday night all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And not just comedy clubs, restaurants, everything is going to be that way.
Or every show at Cricket's. I mean, that's the nicest possible way.
Hey, but there are some good things that have happened. Adele has lost some weight, huh?
Yeah. Everyone loves to talk about Adele's weight loss.
Yeah.
The thing about that is, like, it's all these, so you either have the people that are like, she looks great, or you have the people who, and I'm saying this is my observation, it's a lot of body positive Twitter accounts that are like, oh, so now she's pretty? I'm like, that's not what people are saying. Right. They're saying it's hard. I've lost weight. It's not easy. It's hard to lose weight. And yeah, I would love it if somebody said, you look great. That's exactly, I'm trying to look great. No matter how much everybody wants to say the body positivity movement is here, people still get shamed for being fat. Most fat people, if you ask a fat person, you could have a perfect body or not, what would they choose? Would you choose to be a body positive larger person, or would you choose to finally have the body that the society thinks you should have? I pretty much guarantee most of them would say, yeah, give me a body like that.
Well, I think so many people feel like that they've been abandoned by Adele and her sort of body positivity. I mean, it kind of exposes the whole movement as kind of being sort of bullshit, because there's like everybody loved Jennifer Hudson when she won American Idol, and she won this and she won that, and then she disappeared for a while. And then even before they started celebrating her music again, then she came out and then she lost a ton of weight, and people were talking about her weight loss more than her music. And it was like I get it, but what happened to all the body positivity stuff that you were saying like a year ago about how isn't it so great that she's just embraced her size and she embraced her look, and then a lot of people sort of when she lost weight, she didn't get the sort of backlash that Adele is getting, but I think that's just a sign of the times that we've gotten more into the it's almost like when someone changes a political party, you know, it's like you've lost some weight and they're like, fuck you, you used to be like my size or something like that, and now you're this.
I find the body positivity movement to be quite hypocritical, because look at them. They're celebrating her because she was overweight and in the public eye, which is great. Who cares what you look like? But then as soon as she lost weight, then her body is bad. Right. Like, you read these posts and you're like, do you even see what you're saying? Like, you're being so hypocritical right now. And as much as people want to say, like, you can be bigger and healthy, you can. But I personally was bigger and very unhealthy. And I've lost weight. I've gotten way healthier and I feel so much better. And I think that the body positivity movement is good, but it can also be very, very bad.
I mean, I think it's good, but I also think it's, very hypocritical that, like, you get noticed for losing the weight, you know, more than, you know, the lifestyle that you had when you had the weight. So
but everybody, like, so I've lost 30 pounds, right, in probably a year. I'm not doing anything different. I just changed my medication for my diabetes, and I have less of an appetite. That's just the way it is. And age, I think that also has a factor. But I can't go a day. If I'm in public, someone will bring it up. Wow, you've lost a lot of weight. You look great. Oh, it's amazing. Wow. And I'm like, I've never been the guy who's like, oh, look at me, I'm the fat funny guy, or I'm this or this. It was just, I never really talked about it. You know, that's the way it is. But the amount of people that are positive reinforcing, it's like, you know, it starts to fuck with your head, because you're like, I've maybe gained 5 pounds. Yeah. How does that person look at me the same way? Or they're going to say anything?
With people with eating disorders as well, that's a dangerous thing. Is like, I even spoke to some people about eating disorders, and it's just like, you know, you'll get all this positive reinforcement about how good you look. So you're like, okay, yeah, I should keep this up, but it's not healthy. It's not, I wish people would stop commenting on anybody's body, period. It's not your business. I hate when people say, when I post something, they're like, and I've lost weight, and they're like, oh, you looked good back then too. And I'm like, okay, thanks. But it's the same backhanded compliment as, like, I don't usually find women funny. It's the same.
Yeah. I mean, I've gained 15 pounds and nobody has said a thing. So
Hello, this is Bobcat Goldthwait. I'm not dead, and you're listening to Anything Goes with Darren, Dave, Kathleen on XM Radio's Laugh Attack.
I mean,
Yay! We can't hear her.
Hold on.
Turn her on. There's Bedhead Walkinshaw.
Okay, hold on. Muting her. There we go. There we go. Hey, Christina Walkinshaw.
Hi, you guys. How are you all?
I'm good. See, Dave just left. That's it. Christina,
That's it.
he's moving the green screen.
I'm moving my green screen.
So, how are you doing?
Guys, I'm great. I know it sounds weird to hear because I'm all alone.
Right.
We're all alone.
You moved to New York City a week before this happened.
I did. I moved to New York. Remember, actually, technically, I moved on February 29th, and I was so proud of myself. I was like, leap year, leap of faith. And then I moved here, and everyone died.
Wow.
Is it your fault?
Yeah, I think it's your fault.
So.
I mean,
I'm just saying,
wow.
Nobody was dying, then I got here, then everybody died.
You were working on cruise ships. Do you think that you could have spread it around?
The last cruise I got off of was in January, and I was supposed to get on a cruise the day lockdown started. I was supposed to get on a cruise March 15th.
So was I. So was I.
were?
I was supposed to be on a, not for working, but for a family cruise on March 15th.
You guys both dodged a bullet because you could still be on cruise ships right now.
Oh, I know. I have
yeah.
a friend, and she's been stuck on the cruise for 58 days. This is There's some like guest entertainers and like crew. I think it's specifically a lot of the people that aren't American, and they've been stuck on the ship.
So you have comedian friends that are stuck, or other entertainers?
Different entertainers. I don't know any comedians that are still on, but I definitely know dancers that are still on, and like managers. But
do they have to keep dancing while they're like? Do they have to keep dancing? You know, while they're under quarantine, or just like what are you here? You get back to dancing.
COVID Rack Arena or something. Some new dance they made it. I think I think they started like in the beginning. They were like, "Oh, let's keep working on our dance moves. Let's come up with some new routines." And then I think
some COVID routines. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
COVID routines. Yeah. Let's dance 6 feet apart. 6 feet apart. 6 feet apart.
Yeah. And then I think they were just like, "Give me all of the beer that's left on this ship." So yeah.
Has this turned into a poker game or something? She just took her sweater off.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm getting warm. I'm getting warm.
I've heard about these people on Zoom who just come in and then all of a sudden they're jacking off. I've heard about this.
I want to see the rest of Kathleen's shirt now. What are you wearing?
It's a dress. It's like a whole.
Yeah, she's a lady. It's a dress.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm surely in my pajamas.
There we go.
And this shirt that I wore yesterday, in case you saw my Instagram story last night. But
I love how people have pajamas because I don't have pajamas anymore. I just fall asleep in whatever I'm wearing. I don't.
Yeah.
There's there's such less laundry that I'm doing because there's like 4 days where I'm literally wearing the same thing. I mean, I'm taking them off and I'm putting them back on, but there's like laundry is not such a big deal anymore.
You guys, I haven't done laundry in 2 months.
What?
Wow.
What do you? How long do you wear an outfit for?
Do you wear disposable underwear or?
I have no underwear, no bras right off the bat.
Right.
I'm still wearing bras and I'm mad at myself. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, don't.
I know.
Like underwear if I have my period, but then periods are great because you could just keep changing your pads and not the underwear.
Why aren't you using Diva cups yet?
Thank you, Dave. Dave was like, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Why aren't you using a Diva cup yet?
Diva cup? I know, I really should.
What's a Diva cup? What is that?
It's a menstrual cup.
Yeah.
It's like a little cup with a little tab on the bottom, and you just put it up there and live your life.
Yeah, I really do need that. I don't like to.
Does it have like a nozzle that you drain it or something like that?
No, you just pull it out and pour it out.
Drain it.
You pull it out.
I have my laundry But I am going to do laundry tomorrow. It's gone on long enough. I've done as much balancing of like buying new towels and like everything, wearing things and not wearing them and whatever.
I have a biodegradable underwear where I just wear it for one day and then I fall asleep in it, and when I wake up, it's gone. So
I mean, yes.
It disappears overnight. Yeah.
It's just edible underwear, Dave.
I
Right.
definitely had some bra strings start to disintegrate. That's in my normal life, not this life, because this life I don't wear bras, so it's all fine. Sometimes
What are you doing now? You're in New York. You're not cruising, right? So
Yeah.
I know you've got a job.
I really lucked out. I got a writing job that started the day lockdown started. So I'd already canceled my cruise gig like a week before lockdown happened. And then I still have 3 weeks left on this job.
Great.
And it's really saved my life, obviously.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what the gig is?
Yeah, it's just I'm working for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And it's like app version that comes on after Jimmy Kimmel's version, where you play on your phone, kind of like HQ, and you could win money. So
do you write the questions?
I write the scripts. So I make sure like they need like 30 seconds in between the question and the answer.
Yep.
To, like for the app to, calculate all the answers and people's whatever. Yeah.
The bumpers. You're doing bumpers. A lot of bumpers.
I'm just I'm just writing kind of banter and here's a little thing, maybe a little joke, and just keep the show moving and all that kind of crap. But yeah.
Now, would you be able to do that and do cruises at the same time, or do you really have to be in New York to do that?
Well, I mean, we were supposed to, this is just a short-term thing, right? This is a 10-week that kind of turned into a 12-week gig. But yeah, we were supposed to shoot it here in New York, and now obviously we're all working from home.
Right.
So I guess in theory, maybe I could have done both, but I mean, I hadn't planned on it. So I've already,
Now, I have a question for both Kathleen and you, Christina, from your former Well, no, you can listen to this too. But,
sure, yeah.
It's about at-home workouts.
I'm gonna take my bra off. Go ahead.
Tell us about Diva Cups.
Well, it's about at-home workouts, so I don't know if it applies to you, Darren. So.
The shade.
What did I do? No, but your former fitness guru handle that you used to use. Are either of you doing like at-home workouts?
Okay, I'll show you what I'm doing, you guys. Okay, this is what I do. I have this like little weird chart on my wall. All these charts.
Wow.
So it's like, one chart is how many squats I do a day. And then one is how many tricep push-ups I do, because, I have the Oprah arm situation. And then also stomach crunches. And then I just I mark them all down on the wall. Like I told this to Orny Adams, and he was like, "That's what people in prison do. You're acting like a prisoner."
I've always wanted to get prison ripped,
Yeah.
You mean worked out? Oh, you mean prison rip workout? Okay.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all I'm doing is I'm doing crunches. Yeah, crunches, push-ups, and tricep push-ups. What did I say? Everything? Push-ups, crunches. And squats. I'm doing squats too.
Oh, okay. And Kathleen?
I do squat all the time, Dave. This whole thing, I don't work out. I do squat all the time.
Yeah, but that's called going to the bathroom for you.
Whatever.
A squatty potty. He uses a squatty potty.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to the bathroom all the time. Yeah, squatty potty.
Yeah.
I've been doing just for something to do.
Yeah.
Let's go see if I can squeeze one out.
That's the only thing I've ever gotten from a Humble and Fred appearance was a squatty potty.
I got one too. I got one.
I've only gotten mad. That's all I've gotten.
Kathleen, are you jilling off more? Are you using the vibrator all the time?
Oh, daily, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you have all this extra time, you can get into edging.
Okay.
There's just so much stuff that you can do. I've also been using Couch to 5K if we're talking about working out. I've been Couch to 5K, which is an app that trains you how to run a 5K. I'm still on week 2. I've been on week 2 for about 3 weeks, but it's been good. I didn't ever think I would be a runner, but it's actually quite nice. I bought myself some ear pods, Apple AirPods.
The cordless ones. I feel like that. Yeah, that's cool. You look great, Kathleen.
Pardon?
I said you look amazing. You look great.
Oh, thank you. I've just been walking my dogs and running and edging and
love it.
Hey,
oh my God.
Hey Dave. Dave, you look great too.
You do look great, Dave.
I look
Dave, Darren, you guys look great. What's your
You look the distinguished, Dave.
Oh, no, should I get rid of my beard, Kathleen?
No, never.
No?
No. You need a beard. You look like a little boy if you don't have one.
I like
Wow. All right. Well, we don't have much time left. We just wanted to say hi and have you to come back. And
Well, it's great to see you guys all. And yeah, I hope nobody's grossed out, but I'm really going to do laundry tomorrow.
Nobody's grossed out because, we all know who you are. It's not like it's
really
changed at all.
Yeah,
Let's
come
not
on.
lie. When you lived on DuPont, you did laundry once every 2 months. Let's not lie.
That's pretty accurate. Maybe once a month. The sheets, nah.
That's why I'm not worried about you and all this. I know that you can deal with this. I know that you're fine.
I can deal with anything. I've been fine.
Have you guys done any sort of like not home renovations, but sort of have you done any sort of cleaning out of like closets or anything like that?
Oh yeah, all the time.
I got nothing. I just moved here, so I barely unpacked.
I know. I mean, you've unloaded a lot just through moving, but have you, Kathleen, gotten rid of anything or?
Oh yeah, I throw garbage in the dumpster all the time. I found out that my boyfriend has electrical abilities, so he installed a ceiling fan in our bedroom, and then I'll put I bought these like sparkle lights at Costco. I hope you can see them. Let me see. It's hard to see, but it's really pretty. It's really glittery. So I'm slowly upgrading my dump of a condo.
I found a onesie that I have no idea where it came from.
Can you wear it next episode?
I was going to say, did we just say that this is over and then you started a whole new conversation, Dave?
That's what Dave does.
That's what Dave does.
I could run off and I could put it on, and then I could come back and we could close the show if you want.
Okay, I think, go run.
Go put the onesie on. We'll say goodbye to Christina. Okay,
right,
Christina.
bye, everyone. That was fun.
Thanks.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Thank you.
Leave
Wow,
me.
I love you.
There we go. And now it's just Dave doing what Dave does.
Now Dave is just stripping in his bedroom, putting on a onesie. Is it like a character onesie?
I don't know, but I don't know if you noticed, but he wore that sweater.
Yeah.
Sweater.
That sweater we made fun of him about years ago. That Argyle sweater.
Yeah, his little
He
boy.
got pissed. He got really pissed that one time because we made fun of it.
Yeah.
Oh, he still can hear us.
He's a sensitive soul.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to put a onesie on, Dave?
Too fucking long.
Yeah. What is your cat your backup? Is he like pulling an arm over for you? Look, we're all adults. You can do it on camera. We're all adults here.
Let's get some extra views. What is
Oh, no. That was a joke, Dave. That was a joke.
What is it? An Elvis onesie? Is it Elvis? What is that?
Man. It's Evil Knievel.
I don't know. I literally have no idea where it came from.
Well,
Could you wear this out on the streets this week and film it, and then we'll talk about it?
I mean, I could.
What else do you have to do?
I think it looks okay.
We'll stand up.
Well,
yeah.
Back
stand
up.
Go back.
Turn
Yeah.
around. You got some moose knuckle going.
I got it.
Yeah, I don't need to see that.
So Annie.
Okay, Dave, sit down. Sit down, Dave.
Oh my God. That was
All
good.
right. Well, I think that's probably it for this week. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that was very fun.
Yeah, we're survivors. We're heroes.
Yes?
We're not heroes, Dave. We are not heroes.
We learned what the little cup is that goes in the vagina. You don't have to worry about it.
Oh, yeah.
You
What's
said
that
it
called?
and forget it. The Diva
Said it.
Cup. You said it and forget it.
Wow.
Oh, kind of like those. What was those dehydrator machines?
The rotisserie, the Ronco rotisserie.
Yeah,
You said
turkey
it and
jerky,
forget it.
jam jerky, chicken jerky. Oh, yeah.
I'm so glad you got the joke, Dave.
Oh, well, I like to. Like many things, I like to beat it until submission. So.
Well, and on that note,